understood. And today I want to talk about capital punishment. So I I might be weird or where I want to say this, but I know the saying is an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind, right? But I think if someone knew you shoot that man right there, that is somebody's son and that's probably somebody's father. If people knew if you pull that trigger, your son or your father could end their life as well. They might be a little hesitant on pulling that trigger. I feel like that's what people think before they shot somebody. But I'm sure I'm the rare case in this instance. I guess I can see why it really because everybody just gonna keep getting get back. If I kill your mom, you kill my mom. You kill my dad. I get it. I understand why it would be an endless cycle of just killing. But I ain't seen it happen yet. Can we try it? Because we tried it this way. We've been seeing it. We were seeing the justice system the way it is, and I don't think people will agree with how it's been going so far. So let's try it now for eye. Let's just try it. Let's just see when was that implemented. And they was like, nah, that doesn't work. Like, how long ago was that? Was it like the 1700s? How long ago was that a thing? Maybe it's time to try it again. It's been like 300. Let's try it. Let's just see. The lethal injection. I did some research and I was reading stories. In Alabama, 2 inmates were supposed to die by lethal injection, and they didn't because they couldn't find a vein to get the drugs to them, and they got poked and prodded multiple times, but they never died because they could not get a vein to put the drugs in to kill them. And I was like, you literally, that's wow. Like in my family, there's somebody, we're humans, we make errors. There's somebody that has made it. I know they have, but I didn't think it's because they couldn't find a vein. So they're just poking you, trying to find a vein. That sounds so painful. That sounds so incredibly painful. Oh my goodness. And I guess the first drug supposed to like give them anesthesia so they don't feel pain, but obviously not, because the second drug they put in people makes you stop breathing. But then when they do the autopsy on people, they see fluid in the lungs, which means they were still breathing. They were gasping for air. So they were in pain. If you ever try to gasp for air, it hurts. I'm trying to get air in my lungs. It's not working. Something's blocking something. Usually it's food. But that's like people. It was 4 hours is what I read. It was 4 hours before he died, and I'm just like, you don't have like a Narcan. I can't think of it better, but like something to stop the 4 hours of dying. That sounds extremely inhumane. There's nothing that you can. I don't want to say stop the effects because it's already in the system. It's too late, but I don't know. That's ridiculous. 4 hours. That's ridiculous. That's too much. I think of all the ways that the ways I know are the guillotine, the firing squad, the lethal injection, or the electricity. I forgot what it's called, but the give you electricity. And I think out of all those, I think if I did something horrible and heinous, I think I'd rather have the guillotine. I want to. That seems more instant to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but that seems more like. I also read that somebody had their head cut off to do the guillotine, and then somebody in the crowd shouted that person's name, and their eyes followed that person, which is terrifying and very cool. But I feel like that would be less pain. Like it's 3 seconds maybe, and then I'm dead. That seems like very instant. Like the firing squad seems like you better hope they all got good aim, and you better hope they all aiming for your head, because if they hit you anywhere else, it's gonna hurt. Obviously, right? It's a bullet in your flesh. It's gonna hurt. The lethal injection I just told you all about, which is horrible. I had no idea it was that bad. Guillotine, electricity. That seems messy. Like if I was a staff in there, he might empty his bowels. He might empty his bladder. He might throw up. There's a whole bunch of things that can happen. since you're putting voltage in a human being, there's a whole bunch of things that can happen. And it just seems so messy. Like, it seems kind of rude. In my head, it seems rude. Like, if I'm going to die, why are you making me die by pooping my pants? Why are you... I feel that's kind of disgraceful. That's a very intense word, because they're dying because they did something wrong. But why am I dying with pooping my pants? Like, yeah. I just feel like it's a mess for the staff after we die. And I feel like that's rude. I don't know. That just sounds... You're dead. But I feel like it's rude to you. Because... you can crack your teeth. There's so much stuff that can happen because there's electricity in your body. I just like, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm glad we're from that one. I'd probably never happen because people don't like cutting heads off. I don't know why, but I doubt people can go back to this stone age ways of killing people. But I put a map right here of like what states still allow capital punishment, and I was surprised. In all honesty, in my head when I was looking stuff up, I thought it'd be less. Like in my head, I thought it was like 10 or less states, because I know people don't like the death penalty. I know they don't. So I thought it'd be like 10 or less states, and it's not. It's a lot more. And I was like, okay then, interesting. Didn't know, interesting. And there's some states that the governor gets to say yes or no, depending on the case. And I was like, that's interesting too. It's a lot of power for one person, but okay. Like, what if that governor just hates your guts? And then he's like, yeah, but then that's the governor's third removed cousin. That's not, I don't think, whatever. I think that for sure, anybody that harms children, anything to do with children, you should get that punishment. There's also a big thing that's going on with, you can die of old age because you have the death penalty for 22 years. Somebody can kill you in jail because you've had the penalty for so long. I don't understand that. I think, like, I know we have you can appeal, and they have to allow you to do that before they can kill you. But we need to make it like a 5-year thing, because 22 years, if they're older at the time, they're like 75, they don't remember what they did when they're 55. What are you talking about? What? Huh? That doesn't make sense to me. So I also know that's because they can't get drugs. Like, if I got sentenced to death today, there's about 100 people ahead of me. So they would have to die first. And if it's drug shortage, like they can't get the drugs, even if they got them today, it wouldn't be me. So I had to wait until everybody else. So it's a whole hoopla of things. But I just feel like that's not fair. I feel like 5 years is enough time to give you to appeal to the Supreme Court and all those good things. And then whatever day, let's say the 5th year was December 31st. So January 1st, you're going to wherever you're going to die. Because that's a lot of time. I hate the idea that, like, let's say you kill my mom, right? In my head, my rationality, me, myself, and I, you being in jail does not suffice, because you still get to wake up. You still get to eat. You still get to go back to bed. You still get to have conversations with your fellow cellmates. You still get to communicate with your family. You can write, you can mail, you can maybe find love on the websites nowadays if you're in jail. My mom isn't eating. She isn't blinking. I can't touch my mom. You can still have visits. Your family can still come and see you. That's not fair. And the justice system said it is, yeah. Whatever. That's not how is that fair? My mom is no longer on this earth. I'll never see her again. And you're still breathing and you're still eating. This is not bouncing correctly to me. I just feel like in 5 years' time, I feel like that's an egregious amount in my head, but I want to be fair now, because I do know we convict people that aren't guilty. So I want to give people that aren't guilty time to plead their case and get out. I know people that have been in jail for 50 years, and because there's technology and where we're at as a society now, they're just now getting out, because DNA and stuff, that wasn't a thing when they were young. Just so sad. I think the guillotine would probably be the cheapest, which sounds horrible, but if the problem is we can't get access to those drugs, bullets are cheaper, but bullets seems extremely painful, torturous. I thought the guillotine would be the cheapest and like most. I don't want to say humane because you're cutting somebody's head off. There's nothing humane about that, but to the victim, not a victim, he's in jail, he's a criminal. To the criminal, I just feel like it's less room for human error. It's a blade. Look, this blade sharp, it should cut through all this stuff right here. It should cut through it, and they shouldn't feel it because it takes 3 seconds, 2 seconds, maybe, to cut somebody's head off. The lethal injection obviously needs to be, I don't know, reformulated something, because that's horrible. The firing squad, I just feel like it's kind of, I don't say barbaric, but I guess it'll work. I just feel like it's kind of, because in my head, we all shooting for the head, right? That would make sense. But let's say they shoot you in the leg, or somebody shoot you in the heart. If you're not dead, that's the first one you feel. Ow. Ow. My lungs are not getting flooded with blood, and now I'm getting hit on the head. And just because you got shot in the head doesn't mean you're dead. It takes time for you to die. Like, This sounds horrible, but like, I would give like the guillotine like a 4 out of 5. I don't know what tomorrow, right? Maybe we have a different way of killing people. And like the firing squad, I give it like a I guess a 3. And the lethal injection, I might give it a 2 because the fact that you can stab somebody over and over, and they can get the drugs in them and still not die for. That is, oh my goodness, that is so horrible. I don't want to get the lethal injection one if I don't want to do. And what's the other one? Guillotine, lethal injection, firing squad, electricity. That's a 0. Absolutely not. What? How much money does that cost to do? Like, how much does it cost? How much? Like, ow. Oh my God. I didn't think about you're literally cooking them. To smell human flesh. No. That's get to negative, because that's a negative 1 star. Absolutely, we're not cooking people. No. We're better than that as a society. Tell me what you think. That's horrible, but like, if you had to choose, which way would you rather? What capital punishment would you rather die from? And do you think we should like narrow down the plea deals? Because 22 years and you still living, you got a life sentence then. Because I don't know how you got capital punishment, but you're still here living. You got a life sentence. Because a lot of people die before they ever get there, because there is such a backfile of people that need to die. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button.